Hi, I'm Tracy Ashbridge from St Stephen's College Learning Enhancement Programme. This presentation will just explain how we're going to use Cracking the ABC Code small group programme through the junior school in 2021. This is a new programme introduced to the school. Previously, we've used the ELF programme and the PAL programme from the University of Queensland, but they're quite dated now, and although they're effective, we've been looking for something new that we could use and also something that will cover years 1 to 6, whereas ELF and PAL only really provided intervention in year 1 and year 3. Cracking the ABC Code group programme will give us intervention options for year 1 through to year 6. The programme has multiple entry levels, which is determined by the children's reading age. The programme is intensive, it's explicit, it's systematic, and it gives multisensory teaching of phonics, and it aligns with the St Stephen's Freddie Phonics, which we used to call Spalding, but we've altered it so much now that for copyright we really can't call it Spalding anymore, so we're working with St Stephen's Freddie Phonics. We've pre-tested students to see who would meet the criteria for the programme, and children need to be behind in their reading or their spelling to be part of the programme. This is just a small example of Frith's literacy acquisition model. So students at the logographic phase down at the bottom, they can recognise that the M, it stands for McDonald's, they can pick out KFC, and they learn the alphabetic phase quite easily. They learn A, B, C, they can say the letters, but we need a lot more than that. They need to be able to crack the alphabetic code. They need to know when they see PH, it says. But on the other side, that phonological awareness, being able to rhyme, being able to move sounds around in words. So for example, say cat, say it again, but don't say the k, say b, and you get bat. And that's part of the phonological awareness that children need. Can they hear the sounds at the beginning of the words? Can they hear the sounds in the middle of the word? Can they hear sounds at the end of the word? Can they break it into syllables? And the orthographic phase is knowing how all these rules work together, that when they see the words, they know how different rules work. So for example, they're looking at G and E together, making the sounds J in gentle rather than G, like in gentle, which isn't a word. Also, the programme is really important looking at memory skills. So for students, they need to be able to memorise these different phonics aspects, and then those phonics aspects they need to be able to apply in their reading. So we will be linking new knowledge to their existing knowledge. We're going to be able to integrate that knowledge into different words and different sentences, and the program is supported by consistent pictures, it's multisensory, and there's lots and lots of rehearsal. For some students, they can see a sound a couple of times and they've remembered it, but that's not many students. But for some students, they need to remember it a significant amount of times before they actually rehearse that, and it actually stays part of their memory and it's automatically retrieved. And the program gives us lots of opportunities to do that. This is an example from level 2 of the program where we start looking at graphemes where we've got 2 letters together making one sound. Because in English we have 26 letters, but they actually make 44 sounds. So we need to make teams up of letters. When we get to the 2 letters together, they teach the students to go s and h, make sh for ship. And I've pondered on this, but however, when a student would sound out ship, I've often heard students go s, h, it, p. So if we're teaching to go s and h, make sh, hopefully that's going to make that memory connection that they go s, oh, sh, and then they'll be able to go sh, it, p, ship. The program is very heavily focused on students breaking down words and decoding them. And this aligns really well with our spelling program and reading program here at school that we use for everybody. This is an example from level 3 where we start to look at the different ways that we can spell words. So for example, A in rain, A in cake, A in tray. And you'll see that there's one picture that integrates all of those. The rain fell on the cake, which was on the tray, and then it got soggy and we didn't want to eat it. And there's also information here about different rules. So AY is only used at the end of a base word. We can't use AI or AE. And in the box to the side, we've got other alternatives that aren't used very much in words. This is an example from the level 2 and level 3 pages where we start to look at the different ways that we can spell the same sound. So for example, here we've got A, can we spell AI like in rain, A split E like it is in cake, and AY like in tray. So that, and there's a story that goes with these, and we would say that the rain fell on the cake that was on the tray. and we would add to that that then it was soggy and we didn't actually want to eat it. And on the right hand side there's some other ways of spelling that which are much less common. And also at the bottom of the page there's just a little rule about where we use AY and where we use AI and AE. Students will be given words to read that have the same letter patterns in that we've been working on. So for example, here we've got the SH words and students will read those. We'll never be asking a student to read any patterns of words where they haven't learned the pattern. So for example, at this point, we haven't taught PH, so there will be no PH words in here. So all these words are words that they can do. And again, the focus is on, can you decode the sounds? So we want them to go sh, ip, ship. This is going to also be sent home for homework. It may not quite look exactly the same as this page, but the same words. And we'd like you to practice those with your students and to read them 3 times each day. And if they feel up to it, you can time them, and the target would be to do 10 words in 10 seconds. But the focus is much more on accuracy before we start to build the fluency. So in the first few days, you might be finding that you go sh, ip, ship, smash, smash. But hopefully by day 3 or 4, they're becoming more familiar with the words and they go ship, smash, and they'll be able to read them more fluently. Also in the program is a section on practicing applying that in their oral reading. So they get very short passages, deliberately only a sentence width apart, and we want them to scan, putting 2 or 3 fingers underneath as they read. The words that are underlined are words that you could change for something else. So I wish I had a dog, a horse, a guinea pig. And they would read those sentences. You'll see at the side there's a target time of 20 seconds. Accuracy first, and then if we can get the target time, that's great. But don't spend too much time stressing about that. It's more important that they do repetitive reading to get the fluency and the accuracy. In level 3, we start to look into introduce spelling rules, and there's lots of different rules that we talk about, whether we double letters, whether we do, how does GE work, when do we use PH. So it goes through a whole load of different spelling rules, one each week. The program also includes spelling, so we would use the words that we've already just been practicing for reading would be used for spelling, and like we do with the words we learn in class, in their class spelling time, we're going to break those words down into the different sounds and we're going to color code them, and we possibly would underline the TCH to show that that goes together. And then they go through a series of steps in a multisensory way to learn and analyze those words. So if you do have any questions, please contact us. I have included our emails in the email that this is attached to, so you can get in contact. But please do get in contact with us. It is a new program for 2021, and I'm sure there will be a few teething problems, as there always are, with new things and things we haven't foreseen. So if there is something you see as an issue or you really like, please let us know and we can make adjustments. Thank you.